doing, Michael?
I'm doing okay. You have an interesting accent. Where are you from?
I'm from Australia. Where are you from?
I'm from Kansas in America.
Kansas. Amazing. I've got a couple questions for you.
Okay.
So let me first introduce myself. So I'm actually from an Iraqi Christian background. So
Okay.
my parents have actually come from Iraq 50 years ago.
Do you guys say
Um,
you're Chaldean instead of Arab?
Assyrian, not Chaldean.
Oh, Assyrian. Okay.
So we're not Catholic. We're from the Church of the East.
I know, but they used to say
Yeah.
like ethnically they don't want to say they're Arab, so they were like we're Chaldean or Assyrian.
Correct. Assyrian, not Chaldean. So Chaldean belongs to the Catholic denomination, and then the Assyrians belong to the Church of the East. But we're all the
I'm
same
talking about
people.
ethnically. Religion is separate from ethnicity, or should be. I don't know. Do you guys merge it
Well,
together?
that's the thing. They've confused themselves to call themselves a separate ethnicity when in fact they're actually just Catholic Assyrians.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah.
Interesting.
That's a whole
interesting. I
new
didn't.
can of worms.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so my family actually fled from Islamic persecution for many generations, in fact. So
They
I do have a
fled
bit
for
of
many generations.
So actually, my great grandfather actually belongs to what was then the Ottoman Empire. They did
Huh?
suffer through Safer, which was an Assyrian genocide that happened to us. We lost two-thirds of our people. That was 750,000 of us. I'm sure you're pretty aware of the Armenian genocide that did happen.
So are you
So that
Armenian
actually
or the
forced.
Armenians
No, no,
Assyrian?
no, Assyrians. So this happened to the Christian population of the Ottoman Empire back then.
Yeah,
Okay, so a lot of Christians, including Greeks, Armenians, and Assyrians, were displaced
yeah.
from that time. So we moved into Iraq, and from Iraq, obviously, they faced a lot of persecution and they left and they came to Australia. And obviously, what happened in Bondi last week was a little bit of PTSD. But, anyways,
Why
let's
did
not get
they
into
move
that.
to Iraq? So they were in Armenia. Help me understand the
No, no, not
history.
Armenia, the Ottoman Empire. So they lived in what
But
is now
Iraq was part of
Turkey.
the Ottoman Empire.
Correct, correct. But we
So
come
they
from the actual village of Hakkari, which is now in Turkey.
okay.
However, this was, yeah, all back then, it was all one place.
But
But there was
they moved from one part of the Ottoman Empire to a different part of the Ottoman Empire.
correct, because of the genocide. So they were forced out by the Ottoman
But you get my
army.
point, right? That they went from a dangerous part of the Ottoman Empire to a safe part of the Ottoman Empire. So the
And was
issue's not the
partitioned
Ottoman
to what
Empire, right? So
which is partitioned to what is now known as Iraq.
yeah. But I just
Yeah.
wanted to make that point.
Yeah, yeah. So there was no Iraq, no Turkey, no nothing back then. We were
Yeah.
all part of one place. So we were displaced from that period of time due to that reason. But anyways, my questions to you. So your family is still Christian,
Yes.
I
Uh-huh.
assume?
Yeah.
Okay. And let's say theoretically they did live in an Islamic country under Sharia. Okay. You are aware that Christians are treated as dhimmi, which is second-class citizens, which I'm sure you're very aware of that.
Yeah, in a way.
hmm
They're a minority and they're recognized as a protected minority, as a dhimmi.
Protected. Okay.
Yeah.
And what if they refuse? So let's say in theory, your family refused to pay the jizya, the
Yeah.
tax. Do you know what would happen to them?
Yeah, initially they would be either in prison or they would have to fight because the jizya is you agreeing to live under the authority of the state.
Correct.
Yes.
And do you see any issue with that, with what's happened with ISIS in the past and what they used to do to us as well too in Iraq, the
But ISIS
Christian
is a whole separate
minority?
issue. ISIS does not represent us
You
at
know, they
all.
were following the Quran when they were taking the jizya off the Christians and forcing us out and spray painting the letter N, which is the most racist thing you could do. Do you agree with that?
No, because that's not following the Quran. You're not supposed to.
But it is. That's what I was saying. It's actually forcing the Christians to pay a jizya because they're a minority. So what they're
Yeah,
actually doing was
but the
going by the
Christians,
Quran.
listen,
So typically you're agreeing with them.
but the Christians would have been paying the jizya already if they're in a Muslim environment. Like since the Ottomans, before the Ottomans, with the Abbasids, with the Umayyads, they always had to pay jizya. So it's not something new if they're just
Okay,
asking them to
but
pay the
this is a
jizya.
special tax,
Yes,
only
it's a
for the
special tax,
Christians.
and it means you get all the government benefits and support, and you don't have to fight and serve in the army.
Special tax. We put the
Yes,
inverted commas on special, right? So
because
this
it's
is what I'm
for
saying
the
to you. Do you
the
accept your
non-Muslims.
family? Let's go back to the
Yes,
topic. Do you accept your
my family would
family?
have to pay jizya. Yes,
Okay, and if
and
they
that would
don't,
be the jizya would be less than what I would pay as a Muslim if I had faraj
As a
tax or if
zakat, I
I had
understand,
zakat.
not a problem. I understand you're speaking to an Iraqi. Now, I'm asking you a question. If your family rejected it and
Yes,
chose to stick with their Christian beliefs,
There-
would you
you're-
accept that they have to fight?
yes, because you're rebelling against the state. It's like anybody who rebels against Australia. If somebody rebels against the Australian government, if your family rebelled against the Australian government, refused to pay
Shut up.
taxes, said, I will
Okay.
fight you if you try to make me pay taxes, would you
Shut up.
accept your family being arrested or attacked by the Australian government?
Ahla sharaf. So you have a lot of respect to your family. I see that. That's great. So
My
you're
family
telling me
has to
right
obey the
now,
laws. If you have a
they
family member
but if
who's a
they
thief,
slay
would
your
you not let them
your
go to
actual
jail?
mother
You would say they
in
should
front
not
of
go
your
to jail.
eye. Okay, I've asked you a question. If you accept them to slay your mother in front of your own eye just because she's of a different religion, do you not
They're
see
not
that
going to
there's
slay
something
her in front of
wrong?
my own eye and do it like that.
They
They would have to go to
They
court.
would.
They would have to
They
go to
would.
court.
I don't think you
No,
understand
no.
Islam. We've seen Islam. We know
You've
what
not seen
Islam
Islam.
is.
You've seen.
Yeah, Aini, we've
You've
seen
seen
Islam. We know
ISIS,
Islam. We
which
just
is
saw
not
it last
Islam.
week.
It's like
We know what the real face of Islam is. I'm
no,
telling
you no
you,
no no no
this
no.
from an Iraqi Christian.
This is from a
Just from
Muslim
him.
revert who studies Islam, and I've had all my teachers from all
Can't
over the
read
Muslim world.
Arabic. You cannot
I
read
can read
Arabic. You don't
Arabic,
know
Claudia. I
Fusha.
can read Arabic.
يا عيني أنت ما أعرف شنو فصحى. You don't even know the مناعل الفصحى.
I do know how to read Fusha, and I can understand
Okay,
half
can
of
you
what you
explain
say.
to me what mutawafika means?
Mutawafika means that you're taken up completely, wholly.
Yeah,
can
Aini, in
mean
Arabic, mutawafika means to be deceased. You do
It does not mean
understand.
just to be
You
deceased.
know,
It
your Islamic
literally means
scholars
no.
have lied to you and
No, they
changed
have
the
not
meaning.
lied
I'm
to
telling
us.
you this as someone who knows Arabic.
You're somebody
Yani,
who knows
إذا أنت
Amiya. You know
متوفق, it
Amiya,
means
and
you
you
are
don't even know
deceased.
the
Wait,
Fusha from the Quran. You're doing your modern Iraqi Arabic, and you don't even know it.
No. You
Yeah.
speak to
You know
any
Amiya.
Arab.
You don't know Fusha. You don't know the
Stop.
Quranic Arabic. You haven't
Stop
studied
one
Islam.
moment.
All you've studied is
Stop one
propaganda
moment.
and how to argue against Islam. But you
Not
actually
studying.
need to
No,
learn
I'm just
Islam.
telling you basic Arabic. When you say someone is mutawafika, it means they're actually deceased. Yani, it's
But
just
if you look at the original language
that
and
means
the
they're dead.
context,
You do understand that?
Mutawafika means that you're taken. Just like I can say, he was taken from us, can mean he died. But it doesn't always mean he
Says that
died.
Jesus died. I'm
It
telling
doesn't
you,
always mean
mate.
you died, though. If I say you were taken from us, that could mean
You'd
you
rather
died.
trust
Could
a
mean you were
man, a
taken, literally
Muslim
taken.
scholar, over the words of your Quran, which is
The
so
Quran is
ridiculous to
clear,
me.
and we understand it.
It's clear. It's death. Jesus died and he was raised, and it's written in
Jesus
the
did not
Quran, a
die.
tradition that's been passed.
Why do
But it's said
you?
in the Quran.
You know what's crazy is you can't.
Muslim
Like
scholars
the
even
Quran
actually
is
agree
your
with me.
language, and you reject it, and you take a Roman European pagan religion instead of a religion that's coming to
Actually
you in your own
wrong.
language.
Let me stop you there. The Assyrian Church of the East was established with the 200-year-old, 200 AD Peshitta. I'm pretty sure you're knowledgeable. You understand that the Peshitta was translated from Aramaic, English, and Hebrew. It was the
Who's
first
the
Bible that
who's
was actually translated
what's
in
the
200
Peshitta?
AD.
What books does the
Okay,
Peshitta have
can I
in it?
continue?
Who wrote
Muhammad's
the books?
teacher was a Nestorian monk who belonged to the ancient Church of the East, which is my church. Do you
Okay.
understand? All your
Listen though,
religion
hold
is
on,
based
hold
on
on.
my faith. Do you understand where the
What
Dajjal comes
books?
from? It's not an Arabic word, it's an
What
Aramaic word,
books?
and it means Daggala, which means liar. Masih al-Dajjal comes from Assyrian. You guys copied and pasted our religion and twisted it.
No,
Hur
listen, Claudia.
al-Ain is not
Do
a
you?
word. It's not a prostitute. It's not a virgin. Hur al-Ain.
Okay, you're not letting me talk, and this is my show. So your books are not from Assyrians, right? You're reading Paul, you're reading Mark and Matthew and Luke and John and all these books. They're not from Assyrians. They're from Romans. They're written in Greek. You're taking a Greco-Roman
And transliterated
pagan
in 200
religion
AD and
putting
what?
it into there. But your books
And
are
what?
Greco-Roman. You're taking Paul. You're reading Paul, right? That's where you get this theology of a dying, resurrecting
Yeah,
man.
and so do you. A lot of the Quran contains parts of the Septuagint and also
The
contains
Quran does
parts
not
of
contain
Paul's.
parts of the Septuagint.
Yes, it does. And I can
Septuagint.
prove it to you. The infancy gospel is written all over the Quran. Don't teach me your
The
Quran. I've
infancy
read it.
gospel is not from the
It's
Septuagint.
in, mate.
It is
Where
not
do you
in the
think
Septuagint.
okay, can I ask you a very simple question? Let's see how smart you are on this. If you know that Jesus was actually talking from his infancy, where did it come from? Do you think it came from the Quran?
It's It's from the Quran, and it was reported in earlier books as well.
Wrong. You're wrong.
It's from earlier
reported in
books
the
as well.
infancy gospel. It's in the Septuagint, Habibi. We keep it in our church.
The infancy gospel is not in the Septuagint. The Septuagint is the Old Testament, first of all. You don't even know what the Septuagint is. The Septuagint is the Old Testament. How do you have the infancy gospel?
Your religion is based on our religion.
It's not based on your religion.
You wonder
your
why
religion
you actually prostrate. We do it in our church. This is an Eastern religion. What you're...
Okay, we can't talk over each other. This ain't gonna work. We're not getting anywhere. So, your religion is a Greco-Roman pagan religion. You have God turning into a baby, having a baby with a woman. This is all Greco-Roman stuff. You have a dying, resurrecting, human sacrificing man God. This is all Greco-Roman pagan stuff.
It's written in Judaism. You know this.
There is none in Judaism. They don't have dying, resurrecting man gods. They don't have God turning into a baby. They don't have God. The book of Isaiah doesn't say you're going to have a God.
His father, and he shall be my son. You know this very well. Don't act dumb. You know
it's talking about Israel. When God says it in Isaiah,
Israel
is my son.
You're on Israel's side, but now you don't believe in the Bible and you don't know. What are you?
I know the Bible better than you.
Jewish, or are you Muslim? Because Muslims don't agree with us.
Right? You thought that the Septuagint contains the infancy gospel of Thomas. I asked you, just Google right now what the Septuagint is.
Mate, I said your Quran is a mixture of the Torah, the Tanakh, the Injil, the Septuagint. It's a mix of infancy gospels. It's got even...
Okay, I keep having to mute you because you're not even processing what's going on. The Septuagint is the Old Testament translated into Greek.
Don't teach me what the Septuagint is. I know what it is. I know what your Quran is.
You think the infancy gospel of Thomas is in the Septuagint?
I'm saying your Quran contains everything. It contains the Torah, the Injil, the Septuagint, the Tanakh, the Zabur. It contains the Septuagint. It contains the infancy gospel. It contains Paul's letters. You know this. The book of Revelation was taken from the Bible.
No, even
Yom al-Qiyamah is not something new, mate. We have this in the Assyrian culture long before Islam.
Because you speak Arabic. You're speaking Arabic.
No, it's an Assyrian word. Assyrian is not Arabic, darling. You know this. Use your brain.
Is Yom Arabic or is it Assyrian only?
No, Assyrian. Yom al-Qiyamah is the real word. Dajjal is the Assyrian word. It doesn't exist in Arabic.
But yes, it is. Dajjal is Arabic for when you would, because they used to have the camels and they would have some disease and they would hide it with tar and they say with Dajjala means they're hiding it, they're deceiving you.
Can I ask you a question?
You know how languages form and how languages develop and how languages work? You have sister languages.
And what borrowed words are, right?
Yes, you know what borrowed words are. You know that languages develop over time. Do you think Arabic...
Do you know that Aramaic was the lingua franca?
Do you think Assyrian appeared in a vacuum? Assyrian has words that come from language that are borrowed.
Aramaic was the lingua franca of Muhammad's time. Are you listening to me or not?
I'm not listening to you because you're ignorant. You don't know what you're talking about.
I just gave you fact. Do you agree or not?
What fact did you give?
Aramaic was the lingua franca of the Middle East at the time of Muhammad. Yes or no?
No. Aramaic is the time of Jesus.
Aramaic was the lingua franca of the Middle East during the time of Muhammad.
No.
It wasn't Arabic. It was Aramaic.
In the time of Muhammad, the Arabian
Aramaic was the language.
Let me take you to school. In the time of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Arabian Peninsula is speaking Arabic. The other
Aramaic was the language of the Roman Empire, Middle East. It was still spoken.
The other Middle Eastern countries are under the Roman Empire or under the Persian Empire. And so they're speaking Farsi or they're speaking Byzantine, Roman, or Greek.
Pahlavi, and even they spoke Aramaic. Parthians spoke Aramaic.
Who did?
Why are you distorting history? Just be honest.
I'm not distorting history. You need to be factually correct.
You're distorting history. Arabic was not the main language until the spread of Islam.
Arabic,
I know.
I know.
Aramaic is spoken.
They're not speaking Aramaic in Sham. Well, who is Sham under? Who ruled Sham at the time of Muhammad?
God, Syria. The name Syria comes from Assyria. We spoke Aramaic.
Who ruled Sham at the time of Muhammad? Who's ruling that? Tell me.
At the time of Muhammad.
Who's ruling Sham?
For real? It was under the Romans. The Byzantines owned
you think the Romans
Syria, and the name Syria came from Assyria. Let me school you. They spoke Aramaic.
Do you think that the Romans are speaking Aramaic? The Byzantine Roman Empire is not speaking Aramaic as their lingua franca. They're using the Latin language and a lot of Greek. Actually, the Byzantines preferred Greek.
Aramaic is spoken in the Roman Empire in Syria.
I know, but that's not the lingua franca. That's what
it is.
Maybe they're speaking.
Oh my God! Every scholar will laugh at you.
Actually, in Sham, they're probably speaking Syriac more than they're speaking
That's
Aramaic.
what Assyrian is. Syriac. It's the same word.
It's not the same
word.
Aramaic
is Assyrian. Syriac. I speak Syriac.
Syriac is not the same thing as Aramaic, though.
Oh my God! Syriac is Neo-Aramaic. Are you for real?
Yes, they're sister languages. Again, we're talking about.
They're not sister languages. I speak Aramaic. Okay, but this is Syriac.
Right. And what did Jesus call God in Aramaic? Could you tell us?
Allah. And do you understand what that comes from? Ilah, the Arabic word ilah, la Allah, not two words, al-ilah. It comes from ilah, which is Allah, means God, not the God, which you guys choose to actually praise. The God. It's not the same as our God, mate. We have two different gods.
Yeah, because you worship a trinity of a man and an angel and the creator. So.
Correct. No.
You don't have the same God. You have three gods and we have one, right? We have one. And I will end it to you right now because your Quran claims that we actually believe in the Father, the Son, and Holy Mary. Do you actually believe that? Or do you believe the fact that the Quran says that the Jews believe that Ezra is the son of Allah? Do you actually believe that as well? Listen, let me school you on
or do you agree with the fact that Miriam...
Couple of things. You got wrong. You're just wrong. First, it doesn't say the Holy Trinity is God and Jesus and Mary. It's
in the Quran.
It's not saying that there's the Trinity.
Don't make me bring up the surah. Don't make me embarrass
Allah will ask Jesus on the day of judgment, did you tell people to take you or your mother as gods besides me? Because there are people that pray to Mary.
Are you Sunni?
They make statues of Mary and they worship Mary.
Are you
Mariolatry since the 4th century.
Are you Sunni?
I'm Sunni.
Okay, so you believe in the hadiths, right?
Of course.
Okay, Sahih al-Bukhari. You believe in that one?
Yes.
Okay. What about the one where it says in Sahih al-Bukhari? I can give you the verse right now. I just don't want to really dig into it. But there's one that actually specifically says, surely for who's my...
Okay, but first, you got to quit jumping. You didn't even let me finish talking about the Quran. You didn't let me finish talking about history. You didn't let me finish talking about languages. Every time I show you that you're wrong, you jump to something else.
You're not wrong. You're an embarrassment. The people in the chat actually know who's right and wrong. So you can continue. You're more than welcome. Continue.
That's what I'm saying. You keep jumping around all over the place and you won't let us finish the points. Because you know that you're bringing all this garbage propaganda stuff that's not actually factual.
It's not propaganda. These are actual facts.
No, you know the Quran doesn't say that Jesus and Mary and God are the Trinity. You know that it does not say that the Jews believe
Mary as
the Son of God.
Okay, all right. Let's forget about that. Okay, all right.
Do you want to forget about it because you're wrong?
Let's forget.
Let's move on to something else. Let me try a different David Wood strategy that I learned on you.
Okay, we're going on the same verse. We're going on the same verse where it says Ezra.
All right, enough.